Alright, let's talk about the key to surrender. Like how to actually do it, how to actually surrender. You want to surrender, right? You want to let go. You want to be able to receive. You want to be in this flow state. You want to drop resistance. You want to feel open to life. Everybody has the capacity for surrender, and everybody would do well to have a little bit more surrender in their lives. Obviously you think so because you clicked on this video. Let's talk about it. I have a practice that I will share with you toward the end of this video on how to actually daily get better at surrender. And it is the type of practice that is juicy, it's yummy, it feels good. It feels good to do this type of practice. It's not like, I don't know, think of other practices which you know are really good for you, but you're like, I'm just doing this for my health, but I'm not getting a lot of pleasure out of it. The surrender practice is pleasurable. Firstly though, let's talk about what surrender is. Surrender is a lack of resistance, dropping resistance, allowing life as it is, and included in that, allowing you as you are, allowing them as they are, allowing the circumstance as it is. Full allowing. A lot of people aren't able to connect to allowing or accepting unless life, themselves, and others are meeting certain conditions. So you have a conditional allowance, a conditional surrender. Surrender state can be accessed, and I believe should be accessed, so much more than we are. Because it is where we can find our power again. We drop resistance to what's happening. We drop fighting with it, trying to control it, trying to fix it, trying to solve it. We drop that. We drop into surrender. And through that space of no resistance, answers come. Ease comes from that relaxed mental and emotional and physical state. Solutions come. Creative intention comes. We realize where we want our creative power. We realize what the best path forward is. Surrender actually ignites action. I know this so true to myself. So true. When I feel like I'm like, oh, like it's not quite working, I do my surrender practice. I drop into surrender, whether it's a full-on laying down experience or just, and then bam, clarity enters. And then I know what to do. And then I know how to move forward. And it always feels aligned and right. So surrender is a lack of resistance. And resistance is a state that most of us are very used to. The thing about resistance is the more you resist something, the more you push back, right? So I'm resisting this. The more you resist something, the more that you affirm the power it has over you. It is through the resistance. I need to resist this. I need to block this. I need to push back against this. Why? Because in your mind, you're making that thing that you need to resist and push back against, you're making it powerful. You're affirming its power. You're putting your focus on how much it will have an influence over you. Mentally, you begin to create that and move the momentum of that thing to be bigger than it probably was to begin with. Most of the time, the power something has over us is mostly about the power we're giving it to have over us. So when we move out of a resistant state and go, okay, that's what's happening, I allow that. It doesn't mean that you allow something that will hurt you. It doesn't mean you allow something to continue to hurt you and create suffering. But if it is something that you have absolutely no control over, right? The job ended, the job fell through, someone broke up with you, something else very deep happened, a death occurred, you know, all of these experiences that we can't actually change, they require surrender. Because the resistance is only further causing more suffering, draining our energy. So why can't we surrender? Because we're afraid. We're afraid of what will happen if we surrender. We're afraid of sitting in that space and feeling it all. We're afraid of our own feelings. A big part of this is trusting ourselves, trusting that we can be in our own feeling body, trusting that we have the capacity to move through difficulty, trusting in our resilience, trusting in our emotional processing, trusting that we have the tools and the ability to support ourselves and love ourselves through difficulty, especially if we feel like our critical mind will come up. Most of the time, If we are used to self-criticizing, being our own worst enemy, or if we are used to not being able to self-soothe in a healthy way, we don't trust ourselves to be in ourselves. So we outsource our soothing to addictions, unhealthy behaviors, other people. We look to the world to save us, to try and control the world and all of the circumstances. We resist everything because it is so scary to come into ourselves. The beauty is that is where our home is. And when you allow yourself to be in yourself, to strip away all the conditions of how you think life should be and surrender and come home within, you realize that the most peaceful place that you can ever exist is in the surrender state, is in the state of presence, allowing, being with the beauty of everything all at once, of all possibilities all at once, of everything and nothing. You enter this space of timelessness, and that's where you access greater capacities and greater power. It may sound woo-woo, but it's actually the most grounded thing ever. So how do you not feel so afraid in yourself? It's about creating a healthy environment within. Practicing, surrendering. I'll share that practice in a moment. Practicing being inside of you and treating yourself so well, supporting yourself so well, that you realize that you don't need to resist and control anymore to feel okay. That you are okay. You're okay to be here. You're okay to feel your emotion. You're okay to accept the things that are hard to accept and be in the emotion that comes up with it. Surrendering to a breakup occurring. I'm going to give this example because it's happened to me many times. Surrendering to a relationship dissolving, even a friend relationship. It doesn't have to be with a partner. Doesn't mean you're like, all right, I accept that, I'm done. No, that's dissociating from your emotions. If that meant something to you, you will feel. Surrendering to it is going, all right, I don't fight this. This is what's happening. I breathe into it and be with it fully. I breathe into it and be with whatever emotion decides to arise. I create a safe space inside of myself to feel these emotions. I feel the grief and give myself grace. I feel the grief and give myself love. I understand I feel grief. Emotion will flow and it is temporary. If, by the way, those affirmations and hearing that ignites something in you, it is because that is you recognizing the truth of life. That is what I offer you in my custom meditations, except I create them completely personalized and scripted, recorded based on your answers that you give to certain questions, and then listen to it over and over and imprint your subconscious mind to rewire your reality. That is one of my favorite things to do in life, create these custom meditations, and they're incredibly powerful. It has honestly been this affirmation work and the self-love work that I do in my one-to-one mentoring as well. It's been the thing to propel me to the most inner safety, the most surrendered state, the most power, the most magnetism, just the most radiance, all of it, that I ever felt before. And I want that for you too. It's about allowing what is and allowing yourself to respond to what is and trusting that you are a safe space for yourself to be in the process. So if you haven't felt like you're a safe space to yourself, start with that. Start with creating an environment where you are kind to yourself. When you imprint new, healthy, positive ways to speak to yourself. My affirmation track on YouTube, it is I Treat Myself Beautifully, I think it is called. I think that's the 8-hour one. Listen to that over and over and over. If that's working well for you and you want something even more specific, get one of my custom meditations. They're really quite affordable for the energy I put into it and the effects that you can get from it. Like far beyond what you could pay on a weekend out numbing your emotions and putting toxic chemicals into your body. All right, here's the surrender practice that I do. So do this in your own way, but for me, what works best is I completely lay. I wash through relaxation in my body. So start from my toes, wash through, wash through, wash through. I can imagine it sometimes like a light or like water moving through, and I go as slow as my body needs. so that as I put my attention on each part of my body, I allow it to drop, relax more and more and more. And then from that more relaxed state, with the breath, every exhale, I let go. I allow life to be as it is. Everything that's happening, even the things that are difficult, okay, yes. Yes, life. Yes to the part of me that's resisting this practice right now. Yes, I allow that. I allow the part of me that doesn't believe this will work. I allow that. Deeper and deeper, allow everything. I allow my frustration at the sound of that car driving past. I allow that I want to fidget. I allow that I want to get out of this practice already. Continue to allow and allow and allow, and more, you'll realize that you just want to lay there, and that is the most peaceful place you could be, and you'll want to stay there. The trick is to bring that state and to bring that practice into everyday life. When you're stuck in traffic, when someone annoys you, when someone isn't nice to you, something doesn't go your way, allow, yes. Okay, life, yes, allow. Trust me, it is where all of the magic and power and love and connection and peace is. Please do this practice. Come back, comment. I would love to hear how it feels. Again, my custom meditations or working with me one-to-one, all available down below. And I'll put at the end of this video links to the 2 affirmation tracks so you can get a sense of what it sounds like, my voice. If that feels good to you and you want to take it further, then reach out to me. Or if you just want to do them on repeat, go for it. You will reprogram your life 100%. Life will show up different if you show up for yourself. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure as always, and I'll speak to you soon.